Good afternoon, students. Today we will see about iontophoresis iod. Yesterday we have seen about principles and basics physics of it. Now today we will see what are the requirements or preparations of the instrument before going for any application. So there are basically four things required. Number of one is current, number two is ionic polarity, number three is low level amplitude, and number three size of the electrode. We'll see each one in detail. So current. So in order to deliver the direct current or a kind of a galvanic current, which should be in monophasic pulse application should be used, and constant current is preferable. So because of that, constant voltage potential difference will be maintained. So it easy to transfer of the ion into the from the electrode to the skin tissues. Number two is ionic polarity. Obviously we know that it works on the principles of both the same ion repel each other and opposite ion attract each other. So the positive electrode positive ion should be kept on the electrode anode or positive electrode, so it will be easy to deliver. And in case of you want to produce the reverse iontophoresis, then we have to keep vice versa. But suppose example we are taking HCl, then if you are delivering H but Cl will be there, so it will be attracting a certain amount of absorption from body tissues. So that is ion polarity. Number three will be low level amplitude. Already we have seen that low level amplitude should be maintained. It should not be more than 5 milliampere, otherwise there will be chances of different kinds of burn, and ionic concentration should not be more than 5% of it. And treatment is typically between 20 to 30 minutes for a single point. Then you can change. Suppose we have 4 or 5 points, then you can give 30 minutes like that, but on a single point not more than 30 minutes. Size of the electrode. So size of the electrode, obviously there should be different in size, not a normal size like how we have for the other electrical stimulation, that both the size are same. Here negative electrode should be always double in the size than compared to the positive electrode, or usually double in. Why it is so? Because whatever the current is passing through and it's going to produce a certain amount of irritations. So if negative electrode is larger in the size, it will automatically decrease the reduction of the irritation to the tissues where it is acting. Okay, so the size of the electrode should be larger than the negative should be larger than the positive one, usually double. So that's why the specialized electrodes are which are comings have a different size. Normally have hardly 1 or 1.5 centimeters of size of electrode, where it is getting all kind of chemicals or ions are getting delivered, while negative electrode are almost triple in size, and that is in rectangular shape, and this one is in circular shape. So that is itself is made to control the certain amount of abnormality. Now what are the physiological changes is happening due to iontophoresis? Number one is ion penetration, number two is acid and alkaline reaction, number three is hyperemia, and number four is dissociation. So we will see each one in detail. So if you go through the ionic penetration, so penetration will not be exceed more than 1 mm, but if it is going deeper than that, or we are producing the effect deeper than that, it is going just because of the, we have seen already three types of transfusions are there, either through the cell to cell, directly penetrating to the cells, and from the appendix like hair follicles, sweat glands and all. So because of the circulatory movement or the local blood supply, it passing deeper and it getting effect on the desired tissue or what kind of ions we have kept to get. So the what kind of ion which will be get absorbed in the body by such mechanism. Initially whatever the ions has been produced from the chemicals or antibiotics, it will be just deposited at the end of the electrode or the site of the electrode, and from where it will be, according to the normal circulation or capillary circulation, it will be absorbing the ions and it getting deeper more than beyond 1 mm, and it can have a effect up to desired tissues where it has to be done the action like that. But through the currents or galvanic currents or direct current, it will be just reaching up to the 1 mm only. Beyond that it will be done with the either the cell to cell transmission, directly penetrating cells, or through the appendix. That is called ion penetration. Number 2 will be the acid reaction or alkaline reaction. So when acid get accumulated under the positive electrode or anode electrode, and already I told that suppose we are giving a HCl, so where H is positive and Cl is minus, chloride is minus, so H will be delivered, or acid will be delivered easily, but whatever the Cl is there, it will be attract a certain amount of sodium inside the body. It is there, it will be act as a reverse iontophoresis, and it will be producing the certain amount of NaCl over the skin or over the area of the anode. So this is considered as to be as the sclerotic, which tend to harden the tissues and serving as the analgesic agent due to local release of oxygen. This is how the any kind of acid, and same way for the alkaline. Suppose we are leaving the NaCl, then Na is getting delivered and Cl will attract the H plus ion and producing the certain amount of effect. So this is how the acid and alkaline reaction is happening towards iontophoresis. Next physiological reaction is hyperemia. So whenever this positive electrodes and negative electrode, whenever it is being kept, it will have a certain amount of vasodilatation, and because of that local temperature increase and the patient will feel a certain amount of hyperemia. But the cathodal hyperemia is generally more pronounced compared to the anode one, because anode is having a certain amount of chemical which is getting delivered, while cathode is acting as a neutral electrode or negative electrode. So chances of the hyperemia is more on the anode and more on the cathode and less on the anode, but it more usually disappear after the 30 to 60 minutes of application, not more than that. Next one is physiological effect is dissociation. So whenever the ionized substance is dissociated and resulting into the ions, some solution has been taken and the solution is getting converted into the ions, and which passing through the controlled direct current, and it is gets absorbed through the capillary circulation or local blood supply, and this is considered to be as the concept of ion transfer. This is how the dissociation is happening. Whatever the calcium has been solution is there, it has been divided in the ions, and ion has been dissociated in the subsequent tissues. Now what are the complications occurring because of the application of iontophoresis? The most common complications are chemical burns, next one is heat burns, and third one is sensitive allergy reaction to the ions. So we will see what is the chemical burns. Due to excess formation of sodium hydroxide leads to the at the cathode side, and which will have a producing the pinkish color or reddish colors of the skin, and if the skin is thinner, then there is a chances of wound development or black spot kind of happening after the few minutes of or few hours of the application, and this leads to the long time to the heal. That should be considered as the antibiotic and sterilized dressing, and this take more time to heal, and it requires certain amount of dressing or antibiotic to heal that. But burns at the anode side is very rare. It is appear very rarely, but it's having a just a redness or hyperemia, but which will be disappear slowly after the aftermath of the treatment. Next will be the heat burns. It is occur most commonly due to the excessive heat belt produced by the high in case area of the high resistance of the skin, or most of this occurs because of the electrodes are not well placed, electrodes are not well in size, or the good contact has not been maintained, and because of that extra resistance is developing, and because of the extra resistance ultimately is damaging the layers of the skin. So it should be also proper monitoring and proper application should be done to avoid such kind of complication. Next one, last complication is allergic reaction to the ions. Obviously there are, if the patient is having a certain drugs of allergic reaction to some kind of foods, suppose example for a like seafoods, so the people who have a seafood allergy, the iodine should not be used for that particular population. The other persons who does not respond to the peptic ulcer or gastritis should have very poor response on hydrocortisone, and patient with a problem with aspirin should be react very poorly to the salicylate. This should be a direct relation, and patient sensitive to the metals will have very less reaction to copper, zinc and magnesium. So it depends on the what kind of allergy is there, that kind of reaction will be seen according to that. So that has to be ruled out before choosing the drug or before applications of the iontophoresis. Thank you.